Hey man, if you are at all curious about learning the best ways to naturally supercharge your morning erections so that they are stage 4 rock hard each and every time you wake up, then you're going to want to pay very close attention to this video. I'm Xander Holt, the primal sex expert, and today I'm going to show you a very unique and little known way of getting at the root of morning wood problems. So you are not just treating the symptoms, but are actually getting at the source. So you have a real solution for the long term, and you can have great morning wood for the rest of your life. And as an added bonus, in a moment, I'm going to show you how you can find out what is likely inhibiting you specifically from having the rock hard morning wood that you crave. You see, the reason most men fail at getting their rock hard morning wood back, or just getting their overall erection quality to stage 4 levels, is that they don't understand the full ecosystem that is behind their erections. They just have little pieces of knowledge that are not real helpful when taken in isolation. For instance, some men believe it's all about testosterone, or others believe it's all about blood flow. Some guys think that it's all about being in your head, that it's psychology and performance anxiety. But the truth is, all these things are responsible for great stage 4 rock hard erections, but they do not work in isolation, but as an ecosystem, all working together synergistically. And that is why so many so-called solutions end up failing so many men, causing them to get extremely frustrated because they don't really understand the ecosystem behind this. That's where the impact point matrix, or IPM, that we have developed over the past 5 years here at Rock Hard for Life is so damn useful, because it shows how this ecosystem all works together and how to best address what is specifically causing your erection issues. If you look around the triangle of the impact point matrix, you will see what we call the core alpha inhibitors. These modern day alpha inhibitors are what block modern men from experiencing their birthright of having consistent stage 4 rock hard erections. Over on the left-hand side of IPM, you will see the core alpha inhibitor called MWAI, which is the morning wood alpha inhibitor. I'm about to dive deep into the morning wood alpha inhibitor and show how it's affected by the IPM ecosystem. But before I do that, I want to make it clear that just because you have weak or no morning wood doesn't mean that MWAI is necessarily your primary core alpha inhibitor that's causing your erection issues. You may have another core alpha inhibitor that is causing you to experiencing weak to no morning wood. In order to determine what your primary core alpha inhibitor is, you'll want to click in the button in the description, which will take you to the free 52-second Xander Holt assessment. This quick assessment will tell you what your primary core alpha inhibitor is so that you can take targeted action on what your specific issues are. Knowing what your core primary alpha inhibitor is very important to get the most out of this training. So go ahead and click on that button now, because it will open that up in a whole separate browser and won't affect your training here at all. All right, so now let's dive deep into the morning wood alpha inhibitor. As you can see on the impact point matrix, the morning wood alpha inhibitor is sandwiched in between two other core alpha inhibitors. BFAI on top, which is the blood flow alpha inhibitor, and EBAI on the bottom left corner, which is the erection biochemicals alpha inhibitor. You will also notice that BFAI is red and EBAI is yellow, and red plus yellow equals orange, which is the morning wood alpha inhibitor. You can also see that morning wood is greatly tied to the gut, blood vessels, and hormonal factors. And you can also see on IPM that the combination of these three things are primarily responsible for our sexual vitality. So, what does that all mean for our morning wood? First of all, it's important to understand that morning wood is the simplest type of erection. It primarily only depends on two factors: great blood flow and optimal erection biochemicals. That's it. That's all it needs. Now let's contrast that with sexual erections, also known as psychogenic erections, which are way more complicated. When you are in a sexual situation, your mind and emotions are now involved, not just your body, like with morning wood. So when you are with a sexual partner, you still need everything that morning wood needs, plus a whole host of other factors like arousal, pleasure, psychology, and immersion. But morning wood is much simpler. It doesn't need any of these additional factors. It just needs great blood flow and optimal erection biochemicals. Simple as it gets. So as you can see, if you don't have your morning wood handled, it's going to be much more difficult to get stage 4 rock hard erections when you're with an actual sexual partner. Now, if you look at the center of the impact point matrix, you will see that morning wood is heavily influenced by the gut. There are many reasons for this, but two of the most important reasons are that when your gut is inflamed, it often produces what is called leaky gut. This allows endotoxins, which are mostly composed of food particles and bad bacteria, to leak out of your gut into your bloodstream. And when this happens, it causes inflammation of your blood vessels, which damages them. It also activates your immune system, which causes your testosterone levels to plummet. This is a 1-2 punch, causing your morning wood to get weak. You will also notice on the impact point matrix that there are two main epigenetic signalers that surround the morning wood alpha inhibitor: the sun and earth and REM. The sun produces vitamin D, which is essential for the creation of erection biochemicals like testosterone and dopamine. And when we put our bare skin on the earth, it actually allows negatively charged ions to go into our body that supercharge our red blood cells, which greatly helps our circulation and thus our morning wood. And then there's REM. REM is the stage of the sleep cycle where most of our erection biochemicals are made. And more importantly, REM sleep is also when morning wood actually occurs. So getting enough good quality REM sleep is critical to getting great morning wood. So here are some practical actions you can take to help overcome the morning wood alpha inhibitor. But stay tuned for a moment because these might not be your best strategy. I'll explain more about that in a moment. But for the meantime, here are some practical actions for overcoming the morning wood alpha inhibitor. First of all, for the gut, eat good probiotics and prebiotics to help get your gut in great health. You can take probiotic supplements or eat live foods like kimchi, sauerkraut, and yogurt. And then you want to take prebiotic foods because that feeds the probiotics like apples, bananas, potatoes, onions, and asparagus. Number 2, take herbs that boost morning wood like pine pollen, toncatali, and boron, which boosts free testosterone. 3, get your magnesium in your body to higher levels, especially right before bed. You can do this through taking an Epsom salt bath or taking a ZMA supplement. Get 20 to 30 minutes of sun, ideally with your bare feet on the ground on a daily basis. And 5, go to bed at an early time, before midnight, ideally before 10 o'clock, and get 8 hours of sleep. Now, these are great tips for overcoming the MWAI morning wood alpha inhibitor. But just because you have morning wood issues doesn't mean this is your primary alpha inhibitor. It's important that you determine what that is, however. so that you can take targeted action and just focus on the things that you need to so that they'll help you the most. That way you don't end up wasting a bunch of time and money only to get mediocre to no results. That's why I've included in the description, or possibly somewhere on this video, depending on where you're watching it, a link to take the Zander-Holt assessment. It's currently free, takes less than a minute, and it will tell you what your primary core alpha inhibitor is so that you know what to focus on. It also leads to a very powerful training, which I'm temporarily offering for free, that goes into great depth on all of the core alpha inhibitors so you truly know what they are and you can master your erections. And I've been getting great feedback from guys saying it's the best training they've ever had on ED and erection boosting. And I'm offering it for free for a limited time. All right, that's it for this video. If you liked it, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the bell button, because I've got lots more videos coming up on the impact point matrix and explaining how you can use it to get the best erections of your life. And you're not going to want to miss that. Also, if you have some techniques you use to overcome your own morning wood issues, please post it in the comments below. All right, I will see you in the next video. Now go be a beast.